What's up? This is Max Sinclair here. I'm going to cover a basic topic that's really important within Google Ads, and that is negative keywords. So if you clicked on this video, you're trying to understand negative keywords a bit better. You're trying to run some campaigns, whether that's search or shopping or a few others that you can use negative keywords to try to improve on the results.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Maybe you understand what they are in a basic way, but you want to understand some more of the details behind it and how to actually execute on them in a successful way.
I want more.
So we're going to cover that in this video. So let me make myself a little bit smaller and we're going to go dig into one quick example of what negative keywords actually look like.
And here we go.
So this is a particular company that we're working with at the moment. They do all sorts of lovely lighting. There's all sorts of like lamps, chandeliers, all sorts that you can think of. And in this particular one, we have a search campaign and it's focused on a steam bent wood lampshade. So this is a very specific item that they sell and they specialize in this steam bent style to it. And so this is a search campaign focused on that. So you can see they've got a cost per conversion actually of £49, which is actually pretty good for them because they make a good amount of money from this item. And these are the actual search terms. So let's start with making it clear what these three different parts are. So we have search keywords. So this is what you set in the first place. So for example, in quotes, steam bent wood lampshade would be the keyword which we might set to start to rank on searches that are connected to someone searching steam bent wood lampshade. We could also of course do exact match or broad. Exact is of course way more specific and tighter, and broad just lets basically practically everything that you can possibly imagine around it in. So we generally use phrasing exact, but that's the keyword. And then from that keyword, you have search terms triggered. So a search term is what someone has actually typed into Google and searched, where we have then shown up for that.
Well, hello, beautiful.
So you can see, for example, steam bent wood lampshade. We're also showing up a lot for just wooden light shade, or wooden lampshade, or wooden lampshade UK. Loads and loads of different things. We've got oak lampshade, walnut lampshade. We've got all sorts. We have bent wood lamp, which is kind of close to steam bent. It probably is what we're talking about here. But these are, as you can see, there's a huge variety here, and that's because we have a phrase match set for this particular keyword. So these are search terms. So negative keywords allows us to say, when going through those search terms, which is what we're actually showing up for from a particular keyword, we can try to block the bad stuff and keep the good stuff. So if we put, let's switch this to all time. This is quite a new campaign, so there's not too many clicks on it yet, but this should give us some examples. So, and also let's have a quick look, steam bent wood lampshade. I'll just very quickly see if I can show you. This is the advert. So you can see they've got all sorts of different types of items available. So let's just say we've got table lights or something else. You can look at the different types of options that they have available on their website. And then what we're trying to do is make sure that these searches are actually accurate to the particular company that we're offering, what they actually offer. So for example, let's try and find some bad ones within this. So this interestingly could be a bad search. So driftwood floor lamp. So I don't believe that this company actually does driftwood specifically. I'm pretty sure that they get other sources of sustainable materials. So you could argue that that would be a bad thing to block. So we might want to stop those showing up for these types of searches. Let's just say that's the case. And let's say, just as an example, they maybe wooden table lamp base. So maybe they don't sell the base for a table lamp on its own. And maybe that's what we think the person is searching for with this particular type of search. Or wooden floor lamp with shelves. Maybe they don't have an item which is a lamp with shelves. So you can see that within these search terms with just one keyword, we end up having these bad searches. So then what we want to do is use negative keywords. So that's this final section here, negative keywords. So what is a negative keyword? A negative keyword is the same as a search keyword in many ways, but on the other side of it. So you're essentially going to block traffic which is engaging with particular things that you put into your negative keyword list. So let's say we wanted to stop driftwood searches. So we have the same 3 options when it comes to negative keywords as with normal keywords, search keywords. So that is broad, phrase, and exact. Broad is using no quotes, so it would be, for example, driftwood. Phrase is with quotes around it, so driftwood like that. And exact is with the square brackets. Just to point out, that doesn't actually matter if you use capitals or not and things like that with these. So these are what we have available to us. So let's say we wanted to stop all driftwood searches. So we would be thinking, is it driftwood in any form is bad? Or is it specifically driftwood floor lamp is bad? Like maybe they've got other products which are driftwood but not the floor lamps. So if it was the case that we wanted to say specifically we know they don't have floor lamps with driftwood, maybe we would set this as an exact match negative. So what this means is it will stop that exact kind of search, but if someone typed in driftwood desk lamp, you would still show up. So this is a key difference, and this is particularly true with negative keywords. So really it's specific to the exact type of search. So if it was exactly like that, then we might use exact. But let's just say we're going to go with the truth that this company doesn't do any driftwood related products. So then you might want to put driftwood as a broad match. So this is where you have nothing around it. And so then that stops any search showing up for any search term which has driftwood in any format. So that could be driftwood lamp, or how to buy, I don't know, buy driftwood, sale, etc. You know, all of the different things. So this blocks all of those for us. So this is almost the most aggressive way to block things. This is in the middle, and then this is the least aggressive way. This is if there's just a very specific search that you're trying to block. But you want to let other stuff through. Like let's say best wooden floor lamps. Wooden floor lamps, we maybe do have a floor lamp which is not wooden, let's just say as an example. So we would not want to put quotes floor lamp like that as a negative, because that would block all floor lamp related things. So in that scenario we would probably want to do wooden floor lamp or like that. And this is where phrase match comes in. So it's also helpful for the driftwood example. So of course someone might put driftwood, but we know it's quite likely that they may also do something like driftwood separately.
Oh, okay, I see what you did there.
And so this, because this does not get blocked, this does not block this. So what we need to do is add both of these as negatives if we really want to stop all driftwood related things. You might even want to go an extra step further if you notice this is a problem, like, I don't know, driftwoods, if that was like somehow likely the case. Generally speaking, this is the way that you can be really protective to stop any driftwood related things. You can even do, you know, some people are really not great at typing, so things like driftwad or something like that. But you generally should be fine with that. I don't think it's a very, very minor search. So this is how we're going to be using broad, phrase, and exact. So as an example, what were the ones we just talked about? I would probably do these 3. And then let's just say what was the other example I gave us a minute ago? Traditional wood floor lamps. So traditional, that isn't really their style. They're more of a modern, recycled, reusable, blah, blah, blah. Very high craftsmanship, but it's not traditional. It's quite modern. So I would add that see, I've done that as a broad match. And then they also aren't really a rustic one. You could maybe argue the case for that. Let's say unusual. That makes sense to me. That's fine. But see, there you go. So this was another traditional wooden standards lamp UK. This says traditional wooden floor lamp. So because I've just been quite broad with my keyword there, I'm going to have blocked both of those bad searches with just this one single negative keyword. So I could have put this in exact, and that would have blocked that specific search and solved that problem. But then if I would have had to seen this other traditional one, I would have then had to do another one of these. And so this is a common thing I see when I audit accounts, is that people take the kind of simplistic answer to this, which is huge quantities of these exact match queries. And one of the things that we do as my agency with Snowball Creations, which is why I'm talking about this topic, is the team shares any negatives that they come up with into a shared Slack channel, so that the rest of our team, all of our other paid ads managers, then critique those to see if we can, firstly, if they're not blocking anything good, because that's something that's really important to also avoid, but also can we make them more efficient. So see, we can just have the word traditional, because that's really the root problem within these two searches. Wooden floor lamp, that's possibly okay. Wooden standard lamps UK, that might be okay too. But the traditional part is what ruins that search in my eyes for this particular brand and for this scenario. So that's a couple of things to point out. One is trying to make these efficient, but then the other really important thing is to always make sure that you don't block good searches. So as much as being efficient, you also very often will just use an exact match because it's the safest path forward to block it. This kind of sums it up for you, at least in a simplistic way. There's a lot to negative keywords. I'm not going to go on any further than this. The only other main thing I'd say is it's something that you need to be doing every single week. At the beginning of a campaign, you often have to do a lot more, and then over time it gradually reduces and calms down as each month goes by. So be checking it very regularly. If you get more stuck, please do get in touch. I'm always, a comment away. I always check the comments for these videos, and otherwise I will see you in the next one.